Hi, I'm Rod. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm listening to Joy Division and they will be performing Atrocity Exhibition. This is the official lyric video, so here we go.
your repair. Take my hand and I'll show you what was and will be.
So that was Joy Division and Atrocity Exhibition. This is a song I've heard before, and I think it's a great song. Joy Division, when I first heard them, I did not like. To me it sounded like a horrible mess. It was many years ago. I probably wasn't into my 30s when I started getting really into post-punk, that I revisited them and actually liked them. Yeah, until then I hadn't heard that much of them. A couple of songs. I had some friends that were big fans of Joy Division, but I just didn't get it. But now I think they are one of the better post-punk bands. The song is great. I was getting vibes of kind of krautrock. One of the big standouts for me in this is the drumming. I'm getting vibes of like African drumming, and also getting vibes of Mo Tucker from Velvet Underground. To me, she's a big part of what makes the Velvet Underground so good. And yeah, I was getting vibes of Mo Tucker from the drums, from was it Stephen Morris's drums. On this song, bass player Peter Hook and guitarist Bernard Sumner swapped instruments. I have heard Hook say that they were writing in the studio and they were bored, so they swapped instruments to relieve the boredom. It seems to work out well. The guitar in this is great, and so is the bass. And the vocals. As far as the lyrics go, it seems to be a basically, or what I get from it at least, is that talking about people's pain and suffering, violence used as entertainment, and how we don't learn from our mistakes, or mistakes from the past. In the first verse, it seems to be talking about mental asylums and how back in the day they were tourist attractions, where people were getting entertainment from other people's misery, a bit like going to a zoo. In the second verse, it seems to be talking about gladiators in the Colosseum, these life and death, or fight to the death. This kind of violence seen as entertainment. Executions were once public. And then the third verse, maybe talking about war, talking about death on a mass scale. Again, it's entertainment. In the final verse, that's where it could be talking about we don't learn from the past. The final line, take my hand and I'll show you what was and what will be. To me, that could be him saying that, you know, human nature means that what was in the past will happen again in the future, or what happened in the past will happen again in the future. And I think with this current trend of rewriting history, although history I think is often history depends on who's telling the history. So we have different versions of history depending on who's telling it. And we have this current trend of rewriting history because we find it politically incorrect or offensive or whatever else. How are we supposed to learn from it if we rewrite it and pretend that it never happened? I think it should be there for us to see, to learn from, to look at it and say, well, that's unacceptable to do today. But, anyway, a bit about them. Joy Division were an English post-punk band formed in Salford in 1976. The group consisted of vocalist, guitarist and lyricist Ian Curtis, guitarist and keyboardist Bernard Sumner, bassist Peter Hook, and drummer Stephen Morris. Sumner and Hook formed the band after attending a June 1976 Sex Pistols concert. While Joy Division's first recordings were heavily influenced by early punk rock, they soon developed a sparse sound and style that made them one of the pioneering groups of the post-punk genre and movement. Closer is their second and final studio album, released on the 18th of July 1980 by Factory Records. It was released 2 months after the suicide of the band's lead singer and lyricist Ian Curtis. The album reached number 6 on the UK Albums Chart and peaked at number 3 in New Zealand in September 1981. Closer was named NME Album of the Year. Atrocity Exhibition is the opening track, written by Ian Curtis, Peter Cook, Stephen Morris and Bernard Sumner. The song title was inspired by the 1970 J.G. Ballard collection of short stories of the same name, which is a good read. I believe Ian Curtis he was aware of the book but hadn't actually read it at the time he wrote the lyrics to this song. He just took the title. J.G. Ballard is, I would say, one of my favourite authors, especially in the sci-fi genre. Definitely not for everybody, but I think he's a great read. Anyway, I thought that was great. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you would like to support the channel, the best way to do that is by liking, subscribing and commenting. It all helps, and I hope to see you on another video soon. Thanks for watching.